Hello, my friend. If you are a woman over 60 years old, I want you to know you are not alone. You have probably spent most of your life giving to others, raising children, caring for your family, supporting a partner, maybe even working 1 or 2 jobs. You have carried so much. Now that you're retired, or thinking about it, you deserve to live in a way that brings peace, not pressure. But here's the truth. Many of us are still spending money in ways that don't serve us anymore. And it is not your fault. No one taught us how to unlearn those habits when we stop working. Today, I want to share something important with you. There are 10 things many women continue to spend money on after retirement, without realizing how much it's costing them, not just in dollars, but in energy, space, and joy. If you are watching this, it is not because you are bad with money. It is because you are ready to be wiser with it. And that wisdom comes from experience, from all the years you have already lived. 1. Overpriced anti-aging products. Let's start with something deeply personal for many of us. Anti-aging products. You have probably seen the commercials, the creams that promise to lift, tighten, erase, or rewind time. Some of them cost $75, $100, even $200 for a single little jar. And they all whisper the same message: you are not enough as you are. But here's the truth, and I want you to hear this clearly. There is absolutely nothing wrong with your skin, your face, or your age. Many of these high-end skincare products are filled with clever marketing, but offer very little real benefit. Dermatologists agree that most over-the-counter products can only do so much. They cannot undo decades, and they do not need to. Your face is not a problem to be solved. It is a life story to be honored. When you spend hundreds of dollars on creams, serums, and treatments, what are you really buying? Sometimes it is hope, sometimes it is insecurity, and often it is a habit we never stop to question. So, here is a wise alternative. Simplify your routine. Use gentle products that protect and nourish, like a good sunscreen, a simple moisturizer with ingredients you can pronounce, or natural oils like jojoba or coconut oil. Focus on health, not illusion. And here is something else. When you smile, when you share your stories, when you listen with compassion, nothing on a shelf can compete with that kind of beauty. Let me ask you, when was the last time you looked in the mirror and said, "This is what strength looks like"? Because it is. Every line, every spot, every curve, you earned it. We will talk about 9 more ways you might be spending money without realizing it, and the next one is something hiding in your monthly bills. You might not even notice it, but your bank account sure does. Let's keep going. 2. Monthly subscriptions you don't use. Now, let's talk about something sneaky. Monthly subscriptions. Do you remember when we used to buy something once and that was it? These days, everything is on a subscription. Music, magazines, fitness apps, streaming services, even grocery delivery. And the problem is, most of us are paying for things we do not even use. You sign up for 1 free trial. You think, it is only $9 a month. But before you know it, you are paying for 5, 6, even 10 different subscriptions, and they just keep renewing every single month. And let me tell you, companies are counting on you forgetting about them. That is how they make money. Here is a simple truth. If you are not using something at least twice a week, it is not worth paying for every month. That $10 app? That $20 streaming service you have not opened in 3 weeks? It adds up. Let me give you a number. If you cancel just 3 unused subscriptions that cost $15 each per month, that is $45 a month. Over the course of 1 year, that is $540. That could cover a weekend getaway, or a new pair of glasses, or a generous holiday with your grandkids. So here is your action step. Take 15 minutes today. Go through your bank statement or credit card bill. Look for charges that say recurring or anything that repeats every month. If you do not recognize it, cancel it. If you are not using it, cancel it. And if you are not sure, pause it for 30 days and see if you miss it. You deserve to know where your money is going. And when you get in the habit of trimming what no longer serves you, you create room for what truly does. 3. Eating out too often. Let's be honest, eating out feels easy. It is convenient. No dishes, no groceries, no standing over a stove. And sometimes, especially after decades of cooking for a whole family, going out feels like a little gift to yourself. But here's the thing. What feels like a treat can quickly become a trap. Restaurants, fast food spots, even the little cafes we love have all raised their prices. A simple lunch and coffee can cost $20 or more. Multiply that by a few times a week, and suddenly you're spending hundreds of dollars a month without realizing it. Now, this is not about guilt. You deserve nice things. But what I want you to ask yourself is, am I eating out because I enjoy it or because I'm avoiding something? Sometimes we eat out because we feel lonely. Sometimes because we are tired. And sometimes because we do not feel like cooking for just one person. That is real. That is human. But here's the truth. You do not need a restaurant to have a beautiful meal. You can create comfort in your own kitchen with just a few ingredients and a little bit of intention. Try cooking once and eating twice. Freeze small portions. Invite a friend or neighbor over for a meal once a week. Even better, start a potluck tradition where you take turns hosting. Cooking at home gives you more than just financial savings. It gives you control over what goes into your body. Less salt, less sugar, fewer chemicals, and more nourishment, more care. And remember, it does not have to be fancy. A warm soup, a fresh salad, an omelet with herbs from your garden, that's more than enough. Eating out now and then is lovely, but eating with purpose, even when you're home alone, is an act of love for yourself, and you are worth that. Now, let's talk about something hanging in most of our closets, something that often costs more than it's worth. 4. Buying brand new clothes. Let's take a walk into your closet for a moment. How many items in there still have the price tags? How many have you worn just once, or never? There is something about new clothes that feels refreshing. We think, maybe this blouse will make me feel better, or maybe this dress will make me look younger. The truth is, the fashion industry is built on those feelings. Every season brings new trends, and every trend whispers, you are falling behind. But here is what they do not want you to remember. After 60, you know who you are. You have earned your style. You do not need to chase anyone else's version of what looks good. Buying new clothes regularly, especially trendy fast fashion items, is one of the most common ways retired women waste money. We are not going to work every day. We are not going to formal events as often. So why are we still shopping like we are? Instead of buying new, let's talk about shopping smarter. First, try rediscovering what you already own. Mix and match in ways you have never tried. Pull out a scarf you forgot about. Layer that summer dress with a cardigan. Sometimes, just moving things around brings a fresh perspective. Next, consider shopping secondhand. Thrift stores today are amazing. You can find high-quality, gently worn items for a fraction of the price. And when you shop with intention, not impulse, you end up with pieces that truly reflect you. Even better, think about building a capsule wardrobe. Just 10 or 15 items that you love and can wear over and over, combined in different ways. It simplifies decision-making and keeps your spending focused. Your clothing should reflect who you are now, not who the fashion world thinks you should be. You are not a trend. You are timeless. Up next is something sitting in many kitchens right now. And no, it is not food. It is those shiny, bulky gadgets we buy but rarely use. Let's talk about that. 5. Fancy kitchen gadgets. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You are watching television or browsing online, and suddenly there it is. A new kitchen gadget. It slices, it dices, it grills, it air fries, and they promise it will change your life. So you buy it. It arrives. You try it once, maybe twice, and then it goes into the back of a cabinet, forgotten. Many women over 60 have a drawer, a cupboard, even a garage shelf filled with gadgets we barely touch. And each one probably cost $50 to $100 or more. That adds up fast. The truth is, at this stage of life, simplicity matters more than ever. We do not need appliances that take up counter space and collect dust. We need tools that are reliable, easy to clean, and easy to use. Because let's be honest, nobody wants to fight with 5 parts and a manual just to make a smoothie. If you have 3 to 5 good tools, like a solid pan, a sharp knife, a good cutting board, a blender, and a slow cooker, you are set. Anything beyond that? Ask yourself, does this make my life easier or just more cluttered? And before buying any new kitchen gadget, try this. Wait 72 hours. If you still want it after 3 full days, and you know exactly how often you'll use it, then maybe it's worth it. But most of the time, the impulse fades. And that's your answer right there. Also, think about borrowing before buying. If your neighbor has an air fryer or an instant pot, ask to test it out first. Most of the time, you will realize you are just fine without it. In retirement, every inch of your space and every dollar you spend should support your peace of mind, not add more chaos. Now that we have cleared out the kitchen, let's move on to something that might be quietly draining hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. 6. Premium cable television. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you watched more than 5 channels on your cable service? If you are like most women I talk to, you probably stick to the same 2 or 3 stations, maybe some classic movies, a news channel, and your favorite old sitcoms. But the cable bill still comes every month. $80, $100, sometimes even more than $150 a month, once you include taxes, equipment fees, and those sneaky little charges they never explain. That adds up to over $1,800 a year. That is a big number, especially when most of us are living on a fixed income or managing our savings carefully. Now, cable was wonderful when we had growing families, when we needed dozens of channels to keep everyone entertained. But now, in this season of life, simpler often feels better. The good news is, you have options. Many women are choosing to cut the cord and still watch everything they want without the huge bill. Instead of cable, you can use a basic digital antenna to get your local news, public broadcasting, and major networks, all for free. You can also subscribe to just 1 or 2 affordable streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime Video. Some even offer senior discounts. And for those who love PBS or educational programming, almost all of it is available online or through their free app. You do not need to sacrifice entertainment. You just need to reclaim control over what you are actually paying for. Take a moment this week to look at your cable bill. Ask yourself, am I using this enough to make it worth the cost? If not, try cutting back for 1 month. You might be surprised at how little you miss and how much you save. 7. Extended warranties. We have all been there. You are buying a new appliance, a television, or even just a toaster. The cashier asks, would you like to add a 3-year protection plan for only $39.99? And in that moment, It feels smart, responsible. After all, who wants to deal with repairs or replacements down the road? But here is what they don't always tell you. Most extended warranties are not worth the paper they are printed on. In fact, consumer protection groups have found that the majority of items either never break, or if they do, they break after the warranty has already expired. Companies make a huge profit from these warranties because they know most people will never use them. And when you do try to use them, the process is often slow, confusing, and filled with fine print. Sometimes there are so many exclusions that the repair ends up not being covered at all. Also, many items you buy already come with a manufacturer's warranty, for free. So if something goes wrong in the first year, you are likely covered anyway. Instead of paying extra for every extended warranty, here is a better idea. Set up a small emergency fund just for household repairs or replacements. Even putting aside $10 or $20 a month can add up over time. That way, when something breaks, you have the money ready, and you are not relying on a company that may or may not honor their promise. The goal in retirement is not just to spend less, it is to spend smarter. Buying peace of mind sounds good, but real peace of mind comes from understanding your needs and trusting your judgment. So next time someone offers you that little add-on warranty at the register, just smile kindly and say, "No thank you, I have got it covered." Coming up next is something that hits the heart a little deeper: the way we give to others, especially to our children and grandchildren. Sometimes it is generosity. 8. Gifting out of guilt. This one might be hard to hear because it comes from love. As mothers, grandmothers, and caretakers, we often feel responsible for everyone's happiness. We want to give. We love to give. We buy birthday gifts, Christmas presents, new clothes for the grandkids, school supplies, toys, just because. And it feels good, right? But sometimes, if we are being truly honest, we are not giving out of joy. We are giving out of guilt. Maybe we feel bad that we cannot help more. Maybe we are trying to make up for time lost during busy years. Maybe we are trying to keep the peace in the family by buying it. Or maybe, just maybe, we are afraid that if we stop giving, we will somehow matter less. But here is the truth, and I hope you let it sink in. Your love does not have to be wrapped in a box or sent in an envelope. Your time, your wisdom, your presence, that is what your family remembers. That is what they need. And most of the time, that is all they really want. Of course, it is beautiful to give a thoughtful gift now and then. But when gift giving becomes a source of financial strain or emotional pressure, it is no longer generosity. It is a transaction built on worry. If you find yourself spending money you cannot afford or feeling anxious before birthdays and holidays, try this instead. Write a heartfelt letter. Offer to share a family recipe. Frame a photo from their childhood. Host a home-cooked meal. These are the kinds of gifts that leave a lasting mark, not just for your family, but for you. And do not be afraid to talk about money openly. Set boundaries with love. Let your family know that while you may not always give financially, you're always giving from the heart. You're not a bank. You're a treasure. And treasures are not meant to be drained. They are meant to be cherished. Next, we are going to talk about something many of us hold on to for far too long: the big family home. 9. Keeping a big house you don't need. Let's take a moment to talk about the house, not just a building with walls and a roof, but the place where you raised your family, celebrated holidays, cooked hundreds of meals, and cried quiet tears in the hallway when no one was looking. For many women, especially after retirement, the house is more than a home. It is history. It holds meaning. Letting go of it can feel like letting go of a part of yourself. But here is the hard truth. Sometimes, the house that once fit your life perfectly no longer fits your life now. The bedrooms are empty. The stairs are harder to climb. the yard work becomes exhausting. And yet, month after month, you are still paying property taxes, maintenance costs, heating and cooling bills, and maybe even a mortgage. Keeping a large home out of habit or sentiment can quietly drain your energy and your savings. And often, we hold on because we are afraid of what change might mean. Downsizing can feel like admitting we are getting older, like we are shrinking our life. But I want you to see it differently. Downsizing does not mean less life. It means more space for what matters now. Less cleaning, less upkeep, less worry, more time, more energy, more freedom. Imagine living in a home that is just the right size for you, a place where every room has a purpose, where you are not heating or cooling space you never walk into, where everything you need is within reach and nothing feels overwhelming. For some, that might mean moving into a cozy one-bedroom condo or a senior-friendly apartment closer to town. For others, it might mean moving nearer to children or grandchildren, or even finding a retirement community with built-in friendships and activities. Yes, it is an emotional process, but you do not have to rush it. Start by decluttering just one room. Have conversations with your family. Ask yourself honestly, what do I really need to feel safe, peaceful, and comfortable every day? You are not letting go of memories. Those live in your heart, your photos, your stories. You are letting go of the weight that no longer serves you. This next chapter of your life should not feel like a burden. It should feel like a breath of fresh air. And speaking of weight, there is one more thing that weighs heavily on so many of us. It is not furniture. It is not bills. It is something invisible, but deeply powerful: the pressure to keep up. 10. Trying to keep up with others. Let's talk honestly, woman to woman. Have you ever looked at someone else's life, maybe on social media or in your neighborhood, and felt like you were somehow behind? Maybe it is the friend who travels constantly and shares photos from Paris, Greece, or Hawaii. Maybe it is your sister-in-law who remodels her kitchen every 5 years and always has the latest appliances. Maybe it is even your adult children who seem to be doing better than you were at their age. And even though you try not to compare, something inside you whispers, should I be doing more, buying more, living more? That voice, that is the old story. The one society tells women over and over again, that our value comes from how much we do, how much we have, and how young we appear doing it. But you know better. At this stage in life, you do not need to prove anything to anyone. You have lived, you have endured, you have overcome heartbreak, hardship, and hard decisions. And none of that can be measured by handbags, vacations, or new countertops. Trying to keep up with others, especially financially, is one of the most exhausting and unnecessary ways to spend money. You buy things you do not need to impress people who probably are not even paying attention, and it robs you of something more precious than money, your peace of mind. Instead of looking outward, start looking inward. Ask yourself, what truly brings me joy? Maybe it is a quiet morning walk, a good book, and a cup of tea. Planting flowers? Volunteering? Having your grandchildren curl up beside you and fall asleep in your arms. None of that costs a dime. And yet, it is priceless. If you find yourself tempted to spend money just to feel like you are keeping up, pause, take a breath. Remind yourself of who you are and what really matters. You're not in a race. You're not behind. You're exactly where you are meant to be. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the comparison. Let go of the idea that more stuff equals more happiness. Because the truth is, happiness in retirement is not about what you collect. It is about what you release. We have covered a lot today. 10 places where your money might be slipping through the cracks. 10 habits that feel small on their own, but, over time, can quietly chip away at your financial freedom, your emotional energy, and your peace of mind. These are not just financial choices, they are emotional choices. And recognizing them is not about shame, it is about wisdom. Your wisdom. You have earned the right to live with intention, to spend with clarity, to protect your time, your space, your energy, and your money. And maybe most importantly, you have earned the right to say, I do not need more. I need better. I need peace. If no one has told you this lately, let me be the one. You are doing just fine. You are thoughtful, resilient, and powerful in ways you may not always see. And the fact that you are here, listening, learning, and growing, that says everything about the kind of woman you are. So I want to gently invite you to take one small action this week. Just one. Look at your subscriptions. Call your cable company. Clear out a closet. Whatever speaks to you first, begin there. And let that small act create a ripple of freedom in your life. And if this video felt helpful to you, please share it with another woman you care about. A sister, a friend, a neighbor. You never know who needs to hear these words. And if you would like more videos like this, on saving wisely, aging with dignity, and living with joy, I would love to have you subscribe. This community is growing, and you are always welcome here. Until next time, take care of yourself the way you have always taken care of others. You deserve that.